Hello everyone, welcome to Friday, June 26, 2020. Well, we've got a nice weekend coming up. If you're going to go camping, head to the hills, head to a lake or a reservoir, just maybe going to have a barbecue. The weather is going to be just typical early summer with warm temperatures, sunny to partly sunny skies. We're going to have a little bit of thunderstorm activity this weekend, not a lot of it. The better chances will be on Sunday. Today, there will be a good chance of showers and thunderstorms again. This will be especially true for southeastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, and Colorado. Those are the areas that have the best chance of thunderstorms. Northern and western Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Utah, not really looking at much. But today, it's going to be an active thunderstorm pattern again for southeastern Wyoming, northern Colorado, and western Nebraska with a few strong thunderstorms. Yesterday, we had winners and losers. Yesterday, we had some good rain in some spots. Some areas that really need the rain missed out. Now, we're going to warm up for the weekend. Watch out for a couple of thunderstorms. We don't expect many Saturday, but some are going to return on Sunday. And then as we get into the next week time frame, well, July going to start off cool. That trough of low pressure we've been showing you all week is still scheduled to arrive in the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame of next week, cooling us off. And we're cautiously optimistic that some needed rain next week is coming for some of you. We'll talk about drought conditions that have been developing over the last several weeks, and we'll take a closer look at that and give you some reasons why. Here we are right now. We have this upper level wind pattern coming off the Pacific, but here's that little dip. This is what moved into the area yesterday. This area of low pressure will cause showers and thunderstorms, especially in this area today and into early tonight. Shower and thunderstorm coverage over the next 2.5 days looks like this. These showers and thunderstorms are going to mainly be your afternoon and evening variety. Today especially, to a lesser extent over the weekend. This right here mostly comes into the Pacific Northwest on Monday. So Monday up here is the next trough coming in, bringing showers and thunderstorms, more widely scattered to isolated thunderstorms west of the Continental Divide. Today, there is some risk for severe weather. For you folks in east central Colorado and western Kansas, you're under the most elevated risk for strong to severe thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening. Hail and wind, the biggest concern. But also, coming into the front range of southeastern Wyoming and Colorado, well, there's going to be some strong thunderstorms here later this afternoon and evening. And you can see north of this line, that thunderstorm risk is just about zero today, as the air is drier and more stable back here, at least for a day or so. Now, as we get into Sunday and Monday, notice the changes. This is by Sunday morning, high pressure in the Gulf of Alaska, and here comes another very impressive trough. You know, they just keep coming. The North Pacific up here is just spinning off these lows, and they continue to penetrate pretty far south for this time of year. Now, ahead of the system on Sunday, we are going to be looking at southwest winds. So heat is going to get pumped in out of the desert states for Saturday and into Sunday. But this guy right here swings east. And by Wednesday, it swings east and troughiness develops here in the west. This is going to cool us off, and this is where we're hoping the better chances for rain and thunderstorm activity will develop. This will be especially true in Montana and northern and central Wyoming and the western Dakotas. Early next week, hopefully, we got our fingers crossed, better rain chances will come on in. Look at our temperatures for Wednesday of next week. For the first day of July, temperatures could be well below average underneath that trough. So July going to start off a little bit on a cool note, but temperatures will rebound thereafter. Now, let's have a little bit of a talk about drought. It's been getting into the news here lately. Want to show you where we are with the latest update on the map. Now, for those of you in Wyoming, the western areas of the Dakotas, notice this light shade of brown. This has really developed since May. May was a drier than average month across the Intermountain West and the Western High Plains. And May, when it's dry, when May is dry, that is really, really bad because on average, May is the wettest month of the year. Now, the worst drought conditions are in southern Colorado, without a doubt. See this red down here along and south of I-70? That's where it's really bad. We're starting to see here in Johnson County, Wyoming, this area here along the Bighorns starting to grow. So this area here definitely in a situation we need to monitor. We're cautiously optimistic that next week there's going to be some more rain up here. We're also optimistic that western Wyoming, which actually has seen some improvement, will be getting more rain next week as well. But this is certainly a concern, and it's more of a concern when we talk about sea surface temperatures, and we'll be there here in a minute. I want to show you where we were a year ago. This is where we were a year ago. The only drought areas was in far northern North Dakota. Look at all the white. All this white here basically means adequate or above average soil moisture. So what has happened in just a year? Well, we'll look out in the Pacific and I'll show you. We harp on this, and I know you're probably tired of me talking about this, but I can't tell you how connected the weather is in the Rockies and the High Plains to what happens in the Pacific. La Nina conditions continue to develop when the subtropics, when the tropical part of the Pacific, right here along the equator, when it gets colder, there's less water vapor going into the atmosphere. When there's less water vapor going into the atmosphere, the prevailing winds bring less rain into this part of the United States. So we've really seen the Pacific Basin cooling off. Now, notice these warmer water temperatures up here in the North Pacific. Now, believe it or not, these warm water temperatures are one reason we continue to see these troughs come in like this, because high pressure wants to build, causing the jet stream to go up and down. We talk about that in the winter. Well, that continues here into spring and into early summer. You add that with the cooler than average sea surface temperatures out in the Pacific, well, it's a recipe for dryness in the western United States. And we're really starting to see that develop. A lot of times we see the dryness develop in the southern plains first, then migrate northward when we get into a La Nina. And then that's exactly the situation we find ourselves in right now. Now, further down the road, as we get a little bit further on, you can see that the sea surface temperatures in the Pacific continue to cool off. These are sea surface temperatures for the last 3 months. Look how much the ocean basins have cooled off, and we see that trend continuing.